Have you ever said to yourself, man, I wish I could do something great for the kingdom of God? I think it's really easy for some of us to look around at other people and think, well, if I only had the resources they had, or maybe if I was as talented as they were, then I could do something for God's kingdom. But what's funny about greatness in the kingdom of God is that Jesus said to be great, you actually have to be a servant. So during the time when Jesus is saying this, who had more resources? The servant or the one being served? It was the one being served, and yet for some reason Jesus says that the one who doesn't have as many resources and who's not been put in as good of a position is the one who has the greater opportunity to be great. It's not about how much you've been given. It's about your heart. Servanthood is a process of transitioning into Christ-likeness. David had a stone in a sling, and yet he was able to go up against a giant that everyone else seemed to be afraid of. So what was he doing different? He was trusting in God as his source. God has given you what you need in order to do what you've been called to do. Has he put everything in your hand right now? Maybe not. But he's given you at least what you need to take the next step. Saul even offered David his own personal armor to take into the battle with him. And yet David refused because he wasn't used to using it. It was probably too heavy or too large for him. If he had taken that armor, he would have been taking too much out on the battlefield with him. I think some of us are waiting for God to bless us with more resources or more abilities or more talents before we are able to step out in faith for the kingdom of God. Gideon marched against an army with a couple hundred guys and some torches and trumpets. Those aren't very good odds. But Gideon was not acting out of his own ability, but Gideon was believing in the words that God had spoken. Fortunately, it's not up to us to do something great for the kingdom of God. But when we act out of faith, believing in the words of God, we leave room for Him to do something great. It's easy for us Christians to start thinking, I'm going to start telling people about what Jesus has done in my life as soon as I get a little better at presenting the gospel. But if you've been saved, then God has already given you what you need, your testimony. When you speak out in faith, God can do something great. You want to do something great for the kingdom of God? Speak out in faith. Don't be afraid to be a servant.